Trouwliedjies hier, trouwliedjies daar. Wie geniet nie 'n lekker liefdesverhaal nie? Wel, dit is waarvoor ons hier is. Ek is Precious TrouRok en ek bring vir julle 'n interessante episode van TrouRok en Roll. We chat all things bridal, we chat to service providers, and we chat to bridal couples who tell us about their stories and their wedding destinations as well. So stay tuned because this episode is about to be beautiful.
Looking at it, you wouldn't believe it. But this is where some of the world's most exquisite diamonds come from. First discovered in 1908, our nation's diamonds have gone out into the world by the millions of carats, recovered both on shore and at sea. Each stone meets a demand that continues to grow. But what makes Namibian diamonds so unique? What makes them so highly desired?
What makes Namibia diamonds special is really their gem quality, simply because they travel thousands of kilometers from the Kimberlite pipe into the Orange River mouth before they end up at the Atlantic Ocean. And because of this long journey that the diamond travels, it means that they're semi-polished, making them flawless and enhancing their alluvial beauty.
We are Namdia, the only supplier of 100% Namibian diamonds directly to the market. We are the promise of Namibian diamonds fulfilled. Find out more about how we fulfill the promise. Visit us at www.namdia.na.
Now, I don't think I need to elaborate more on how beautiful Atlantic Villa is, and I definitely see why a lot of couples would come and host their weddings here. It's a beautiful destination. But let's hear it from Sakaria as the event planner, the event manager right here at Atlantic Villa Boutique Hotel. Why should people choose Atlantic Villa as a wedding destination?
It's a wedding destination, okay. One thing about Atlantic Villa is that it's unique in a different way. Mm-hmm. I've been to a lot of event venues and all that, but all just looks the same. Very normal, you know, but us, we are not basic, that's one thing. Yeah. So we have different atmosphere venues, that's one thing. Okay. So you find different people with different tastes, with different what they like. So we have the wine cellar that's almost like woody with wines and all that, antique. You know. You don't do actually much. And then you go to our garden venue that's actually it's indoor, but it gives off the vibe of the but it's indoor, yeah. I got a venue, but it's indoor, yeah. And then we're actually busy making another venue again, like in Hall to.
Is it a little secret
it's
venue?
It's a little secret, yeah.
Around the bush with this
yeah, because the thing is that the demand become a bit now a lot, so
definitely.
people really get angry. Like
we see the work that you guys do, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. So of course the demand will increase.
Yeah, because at the moment for like event, we take wedding, we take only 100 people. So and then you get people that are 120. Like why? You know. Why? So that's why we are busy working on that, making a venue that accommodate a bigger group of people. And then also one thing about our accommodation as well, definitely a bridal couple, groom and bride will definitely need a room. So we have very modern, luxurious rooms that one can get ready in, you know. You can even have honeymoon already straight away from the venue already. And then also the food, that's a compliment that we always get. You know, we have the best team, and then we always try and invest in our employees as well. We had our chef now, that's currently the senior chef there. We will send her for 1-2 weeks training.
Is it Chef Rauna?
Chef Rauna, yeah. Chef Rauna, yeah.
With Chef Rauna,
you know, I have so much trust and faith in her. So she's very good at that, and the rest of the team as well. And we work quite good with everyone's suggestion. We just don't listen to one person, you know. We all come up, okay, this is the type of group that we are having, the type of wedding. We had actually also a Nigerian wedding here. People came all the way from Nigeria. So I did planning, even though I was not They actually, I made sure that everything went
runs
well
smoothly.
from who must do the setup, the menus, guidance, everything, and the accommodation, and sorted out everything, transportation for their guests from Nigeria. I had to make sure that everything goes smooth. Even outside, I was in Cape Town actually for holiday, but I made sure that everything went well, you know.
Wow.
And then also one thing about Atlantic Villa is a good service that you get starting from me. I always make sure that I take some weight off the people that are getting married, and I just like, you know, so I have a better understanding how a wedding goes. I have ups and downs, fails,
compared
and
to
you
the
know,
people that are actually getting married for the first
for
time.
the first time. So I always guide them. Okay, no, you can do this. Why don't you do this instead of this? You know,
Yes.
and
So
then,
advice on which color palettes, advice on the decor setup,
and so on. Yeah. So basically, I collect information from the people that are getting married, and then I combine in one idea. Okay, with their inspirations, what they want, and then I thought, okay, you can do it this way. A lot of people always just go with what I say. That's a good thing. And they always have trust in me. Yeah. So people don't. Sometimes, you know, why should the person stress while they're supposed to be enjoying their big day? So that's why I always, you know, it's like sacrifice. I make sure I'll always go extra mile for everyone to have the best day.
And I think that's something that every bridal couple needs. Someone that just takes the stress off of you for that particular event or day. Now, you did mention this Nigerian wedding that caught my attention, but what caught my attention even more was the fact that you were in Cape Town and that you still managed to pull it off and make sure everything runs smoothly. So by this information, I can already tell that this is not a one-man job. Tell me a little bit about your team.
My team,
that assist you during this process.
Okay, with processing, with a process, sorry. I have an assistant, that's Sandeshi, and then also we have event coordinator that always assists me as well, Lordi. And then, as I said, we work together. That's one thing, you know. You give, like with me, if I'm not here, I give responsibilities to different people. Please check on this, check on this, check on this. And I'm always that type of person. If I'm not there, I video call. I take photos. Please take photos. Send me the photos. Why? Yeah. So of course, one thing about me, I'm a perfectionist, and I always like
make sure
top-notch things, you know. So, and then also from the start, the planning always matters, you know.
Yeah.
If you communicate well to your team to execute it in this way, you know, teamwork and all that, they will always execute it in the right format
and the way that you want it, and the vision that you have as well.
Yeah, and then good service here at Atlantic Villa. Everyone, all our staff members, all my colleagues, they know. That's our aim. That's our target. We want more people to come here. That's
the best.
And the good thing is that a lot of events that we always get is word to mouth. Actually, you know,
so
my friend had an event here, or I had an event. I also want, you know, to have it here at Atlantic Villa. That's one thing.
That just signifies the good job that you guys are doing here. I mean, if definitely, like you mentioned earlier in our interview, it's picking up. The weddings at Atlantic Villa are picking up, and I don't even know why you are surprised, because the work, like I mentioned before, I peeped into the wedding that's taking place today, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was magical, and it would make someone want to get married again tomorrow. That's just how nice it looked. Now, I'm sure this is not a skill that you acquired overnight. So tell us how you got into this industry.
Okay, one thing about me I love actually is a passion, and then also I like of things as well. So I always try to learn. I always learn from people. I'm a very observant person. If I've like last time, actually an event planner, I always like, okay, please invite me. I just want to have a look, learn from
how you're doing, how you.
Yeah, I love learning from others, and I also like taking traveling and so on, and just observing, and I always learn from people. I love learning. I take those courses and all that just to acquire more knowledge and stuff like that. So that's one thing.
Right, so I am here with Shanray and Jaren Figaji, of ek moet seker sê meneer en mevrou Figaji.
Dis korrek, ja.
So julle het onlangs nou hierdie dag eers getrou, reg?
Dis reg, ja.
Vertel vir ons 'n bietjie daaroor. How did you guys meet? Let's start there. I think, yeah, Shanray, how did you guys meet?
So me and Jaren, initially, Jaren saw me on school years. And then officially we met at a car wash back in 2021.
Okay.
But it wasn't until 2022 that Jaren asked me to be his Valentine while I was on another date.
Very daring,
Ja.
but okay.
And then the rest was history.
And then the rest was history. Now take us back to, ek weet nie of ek kan sê audacity nie.
Okay.
I'm asking her to be your Valentine's partner while she was on another date.
Well, actually, it was my last shot at trying to get to her. So I managed to get the courage from two of my friends, one being Twice and the other one being Slow. So Twice wrote the letter to ask her to be my Valentine, and Slow delivered the flowers. So I never had the guts to go in. So I sent them in, and when we got there, they said that she doesn't work there. She's moved to Rainey's Transport. So I drove there, and when I got there, I still couldn't go in. And then they said that she was out on lunch. So we went to a place called Dockside for something to eat. And then I was looking at the time the whole time, making sure like we got to be there before 2 o'clock. And then when we got there, Slow managed to go and drop it at the security because they didn't allow him to go in. And then I sent a WhatsApp to a cousin, which was helping me to get closer to her. A message to say that I delivered the flowers and it's my last shot and so on. And before I got to Swakop, I received a yes. I will be your Valentine. Yeah.
So daar's nog baie mense rondom
Ja.
Valentine. Was jy net so 'n moeilike mens geweest? Why did it take so much?
Nee, dit was eerste gewees. Hy bly eintlik langs een van my beste vriende. Ek het dit nie geweet nie. En dan 'n paar jaar later toe trek my neef in, ook langs hom. En ek het nie geweet hy bly in die middel van hulle twee nie. En dan ons het gereeld gekuier en ek het hom al gesien en ek het gevra, nou wie is die jong? What's going on there? Yes. So hy het ook in 2020 uit 'n lang verhouding uitgekom. Toe sê my neef net vir my, if it's not going to be something serious, just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. And that's what I did. Toe sê ek, hoekom moet ek nou vir hom aandag gee if it's not something, if it's not going to be anything.
Yes.
Toe sien ek die Valentine's thing, sê ek, okay, let's give it a shot.
I mean, he's putting in effort.
He's putting in effort, he's doing all this. Hy het vir my orchid gekoop, my eerste orchid. I was like, okay, die blommetjie kos daarom nog 'n paar rand, so let's do this.
Yeah.
Wow, so like the little efforts also is what captured your heart, and you're like, listen, man, he's putting in effort.
Yeah.
Let's go the whole 9 yards. And then eventually you guys started dating.
Yep.
En so, hoe lang was julle nou saam in 'n verhouding voor hy nou the big question gepop het?
It was a year and 8 months.
Yeah.
A year and 8 months. Then he popped the question. Within the first year, within the first year and 5 months, we had our first baby together. And then 2 months after that, 5, 6, 7, 3 months after that, he popped the question. And that's nog 'n interessante storie.
Ooh, nou van wie se kant af vir hierdie storie hoor? Jaren of Chandra?
I think from her side it will be
Okay, so you
from her
tell
point of
us,
view.
How it happened, and then I want to hear the behind the scenes of hoe dit gebeur het. Want
Okay.
Sy het niks geweet. Sy het nie geweet dit kom in.
Ja.
Not at all.
Okay.
Baba was 2 maande oud gewees. En dan was my ouers huweliksherdenking gewees. 26 jaar se huweliksherdenking. My ma het al uitgegaan het en the whole yearly thing. Dus ek, the color thing, kan net kind vir die eerste jaar het hy het fatty en al daai. So ek was my kind is 2 maande, I'm not taking it to a restaurant.
Ja.
Dat het ek nog 'n prem gehad nie. Ek het nog geweet hoe met die kind in die publiek te wees sê. Toe sê ek gaan nêrens sê. My ma het so baie moeite gedoen en gesê maak hulle mooi en everything en almal rondom is besig om klaar te maak. And I said no. I'm not leaving. Net voordat hulle gaan, toe sê ek okay, ek gaan maar klaar maak. Maar toe sê ek nee en toe gee ek maar vir baba bos. And back then, should I go in detail with?
You can.
Okay.
Nobody can see you. So.
Ja, so ek het warm gloede gehad met die geboorte en na geboorte. So gewoonlik dan sal ek net in my onderklere wees as ek vir my kind bors gee. En net toe ek uit die shower uitkom en op besig is om my kind bors te gee, toe kom almal nou in my kamer in, which never happens. Ek wil ook nou vra wat gaan nou aan, almal is dressed up. En hier kom stap Sharon in. Okay, hey babe, hoe gaan dit? Toe ek net so afkyk, hier gaan hierdie man op sy een knie. Ek dink hy tel iets op en toe ek nou hierdie kant toe hier is, toe skrik ek nou van hier's 'n ring en will you marry me?
En toe was baba waar.
Papa het aan drink op my tiet. Op my bors. Ek sê seker.
En wat was die behind the scenes? Hoe het ons daar aangekom?
Okay, so it was an event that I wanted to make memorable in terms of I was born on the 10th and their wedding anniversary was also on the 10th. So I didn't want to be cliche because it was near to Valentine's Day as well. So I thought that the going out, because her parents wanted to have something at Bluegrass. And then I thought, well, I'll take this event, unsuspicious, and then go on one knee. And then I already set my mind to this date. And then she was difficult. She said, no, she doesn't want to go anywhere. I was calling her mother. Her mother was saying no. I was calling her father. And he's like, just come. Just come. She's not going anywhere. So when I got there, she was the way that she was dressed, not fully dressed. But I felt that I was already going to do it. There was nothing that was going to change it. Plus, I was proposing to her, not the world. Yes. So I proposed to her on the spot. She didn't like her reactions, the wow, so she was overwhelmed, obviously. And then after that, we were engaged.
Oh, yeah. Despite you being difficult.
Yep.
I think that was an understatement that day.
Yeah,
actually,
no.
Because I'm trying to think now, the chaos in this house, everyone is getting ready because hierdie moet nog gebeur. Maar die mens is dit moeilik. En niemand kom deur by haar nie. So ek weet nie wat sou ek gedoen het as ek nou in so 'n situasie was. Ek sou seker gesê luister, kyk nee. Kom ek sou seker vir jouself aangetrek het. I don't know.
Hulle was op die punt gewees. Toe sê ek net nee, I'm not doing this. Maar as ek nou aantrek, dan wil hulle my uitvat. En ek het nie verstaan hoekom almal so baie moeite gedoen het en as nee, ek wil nie.
Het julle dan toe uitgegaan daarna of het julle so in die huis gedoen?
My ouers het vir my die champagne en die platters en die steak en die dinner alles my afgeneem en gesê het this could have been you. Maar dankie vir die engagement.
Oh, shame.
So that was my story. Yeah. That was our engagement.
And it's so beautiful. It's so real. And I think that is
simple.
Yes. But then, van daaraf is het nog plan vir troudag. En hoe is dit geloop? Kijk, wat ek weet, ons vrouwmense, ons stres oor die kleinste goedjies, nitty-gritties, details are important.
Yes. Die troudag, het eintlik ook net by ons verwags gebeur. Ons het dit van die tyd af beplan gesê, ons het nou nie 'n datum nie, ons moet sy skedule by die werk kyk en alles wat rondom dit gaan, hoe ons verlof gaan vat. So daar was 'n bietjie beplanning in die agtergrond. Maar toe sê ons, okay nee, let's just do something simple. Hoe die datum opgekom het, was ook net uit die bloute uit. Hy het net navraag gedoen by die hof. Toe stap hy eendag in, toe sê okay, hy is nou nie om tussen. Kom ek gaan vind dit uit, hoe is die trou procedure.
Ja.
Toe gaan hy in die hof toe en toe sê hulle daar's 'n datum vir die 10de en dit was net die week daarvoor, die 10de Mei. Die 10de Mei 3 uur was die tyd gewees. Toe bel hy my daai tyd en sê, babe, this is the date, this is the time. Are you open to it? Can we discuss it? Toe sê ek, ja, vir die datum, let's just do it. Van, ons beplan ons so baie goed en ons het nooit by datum uitgekom nie. Toe sê ons, okay, no, let's do it.
Maar jy het nog iets in jou hande, wat het jy voor?
Yeah, so on this side we have actually both. So this is like a breathment sweetie. So this was now at the end when you either finished your meal that you could have a breathment, obviously, and that's for the sweet tooth, and then in church we had water. A lot of people, they dehydrate while a long service is in church. So this was water that was provided in the church so that people could refresh themselves. But I would like to add one last thing.
Please.
The 10th of May 2024, yes, it was one of the things that I walked in at court and they gave me that date. But when I drove home and I called her, my wife, and I was like, the 10th of April is my birthday, so that's the 10th. May is her month, and then 2024 is obviously the year that we're getting married. So those two, like being put together, that's why I just said we're doing
More
this
sentimental.
without her actually thinking about this. Like we need to do this. This is and that date is in the middle of my birthday and her birthday,
And her birthday. So when is your birthday?
The 18th of May.
and mine is the 10th of
May.
April.
Oh, ek kry maar goeie.
Yeah, it's
So alles was
yeah.
meer sentimenteel oor die troudag. My TrouRok was my ma se TrouRok gewees.
It was recycled, yeah.
Ja,
That's true.
so after 26 years,
Yeah.
ek het dit rok afgestof en
you
dit
got engaged on their wedding anniversary
Yep.
Ja.
as well.
So
Yeah.
alles was baie sentimenteel rondom ons troue gewees en it's not something you can make up. Dis ons storie en dit het perfek by ons ingepas.
Julle, ek kry nou reg goosebumps. And one thing about me is my goosebumps don't shy away. Ek het dit tot in my gesig. So I just need a moment.
A
to get
moment.
it voor ek nog
Okay.
julle se gedeelte hê. Maar ek moet vir julle baie dankie sê dat julle 'n draai by my gemaak het vandag en dat julle se stories met ons gedeel het. It's absolutely beautiful. And if there is really anyone out there and if you needed a sign, this is your sign. It's now or
Never. Yes.
For sure.
But that's it from meneer en mevrou Pagaji.
Gachi.
There we go.
Just like so many facets of your wedding, choosing the right venue is essential for making a success of your special day. Here are a few tips to help you choose. Determine your style and budget. Do you want a rustic barn, a chic ballroom, or a beachfront ceremony? Knowing your style and budget will narrow down your options. Consider your guest list. Make sure the venue can comfortably accommodate your expected number of guests. Think about the location. Choose a convenient spot for most of your guests and consider transportation and parking options. Visit multiple venues. Take tours, ask questions, and get a feel of the space. Pictures can be deceiving, so seeing it in person is crucial. Check availability and flexibility. Make sure the venue is available on your desired date and find out their timing, setup, and breakdown policies. Understand what's included. Make sure to check what the rental fee offers, including tables, chairs, linens, catering and services, and what you'll need to arrange separately. Follow these tips and you'll be well on your way to finding the perfect venue for your wedding. Happy planning!
'50s wedding. The 1950s were an era of post-war optimism, economic growth, and a return to tradition. The spirit of renewal and stability was reflected in the typical wedding of the time, which emphasized classic elegance, formality, and timeless romance. Let's step back in time to explore what a typical wedding in the 1950s was like. The bridal attire. Bridal fashion in the 1950s was epitomized by graceful and feminine silhouettes. The iconic wedding dress style of the decade was the tea-length, a line gown, often adorned with lace and tulle. These dresses were designed to emphasize the small waist and full skirt, creating an elegant and timeless look. Brides wore elbow-length gloves, and veils were typically short and attached to a hat or headpiece like a Juliet cape. The groom attire. Grooms were dressed in a classic black tuxedo, complete with a black bow tie, white dress shirt and a cummerbund. This formal attire conveyed an air of sophistication and tradition. The ceremony. Religious ceremonies were the norm in the 1950s, with couples marrying in churches, synagogues, and other places of worship. These weddings were often solemn and dignified, with the exchange of vows being the central focus. Traditional music such as the Mendelssohn Wedding March was commonly played as the bride walked down the aisle. The reception. Receptions were typically held in formal settings like halls or ballrooms. Tables adorned with floral centerpieces, and guests were seated for a formal dinner. The entertainment. Live bands or orchestras provided music for dancing, and couples often enjoyed valses, foxtrots, and other ballroom dances. The first dance was a highlight of the evening, with the couple typically choosing a romantic ballad. Traditions and etiquette. Couples of the 1950s adhered to traditional wedding customs and strict etiquette. For instance, it was customary for the bride's family to bear the majority of wedding expenses. Thank you notes were a must, expressing gratitude for the received gifts. In summary, 1950s weddings were characterized by simple traditions, an emphasis on elegance, and a deep sense of commitment.
En dit bring vir ons aan die einde van ons episode van Trou, Rock en Roll. Ons het nou so lekker trougeselskap gehad en ons bruidspaar is die oulikste paartjie ooit. Maar dit is presies wat ons vir julle hier bring, net hier by Trou, Rock en Roll. Maar ek hoop julle bly ingeskakel, want die program gaan aan en ons het soveel meer wat ons nog vir julle kan bring. Tot volgende keer.